if you're down massively on time, that could be a huge issue down the
I
road.
love Anish's position. It seems so much easier to play. Like he's just going to go rook d to g8, queen to g7, and h4. It's like a really simple plan, and I feel like Carlsen's got to bring his A game to save this one.
Carlsen making defensive retreats on that right side where his king is facing some trouble. I think Magnus now just making sure to move his pieces towards the right to help out the king in trouble.
And Anish is simply retreating his rook to g7. Doesn't change the big picture. He's going to double up his rooks on that file. And Magnus is trying to hold the blockade. Good idea. Like I said, Magnus is in full defensive mode.
But Anish strikes on the left side. He's been completely focused on the right side. Now he shifts his attention, getting his knight up into a dominating position. Then he's going to get potentially his bishop involved as well. Anish is trying to make his breakthrough. And look at the eval bar. The eval bar is loving Anish's play so far. However, he's down to just 19 seconds on the clock. He's been finding all the right moves, but it's taken him so much time.
Yeah, that's where it's going to be a dangerous territory for him, right? He has a great position and he knows that and he's going to try to win. But on the other hand, the person who's better often needs to think more to find the precise moves. And Carlsen mixes it up with a very cool exchange sacrifice in the middle of the board, giving up his rook for black's bishop and trying to get the beautiful f5 square for his knight.
And I think, yeah, Carlsen is going to win this. Even though the computers hate his position, just the placement of the knight combined with the fact that Anish is running out of time, I think Magnus is going to win this despite having a bad position.
I agree. That is a very possible outcome. I mean, at least White has managed to change the trajectory of the game. And, now instead of enjoying his attacking position, Anish has to figure out how to deal with this powerful knight on f5 and like what has happened to his attack on the king side. It's disappeared. So I do feel that Carlsen has practically done very well for himself here.
Carlsen moving his knight out to the right hand side. The rook has to move away from being attacked. Multiple moves coming in now as Anish has to increase his pace. And Anish manages to take some pawns in that sequence of events. In fact, Anish has done very, very well here as the moves on the transmission board catch up. Anish has given back that rook he had extra, but he's captured so many white pawns in the meantime.
Yes, he's got a great bishop. He's still up a pawn. And now he brought in his queen. The good news for Anish is that his position has become more simple to play. And Carlsen's knight is stuck on the side of the board, not able to move anywhere. So black is better, but he still needs to kind of watch out for events on the queen side. And we can see that Carlsen is trying to make some threats there.
Yeah, and Carlsen makes a threat and Anish completely ignores it. Magnus thought with his queen and rook pointing down towards the black king that Anish would have to go to defensive mode, but Anish instead pointing his bishop towards the white king. Magnus has no defense. Magnus has to retreat his rook into a defensive position, but here the black bishop is going to capture in towards the white king, and Magnus resigns the game as the knight is being lost afterwards. That was an incredible game with the black pieces from Anish Giri, and Magnus, look at the faces he's making. That is his fourth loss in this World Blitz championship, and actually some information about how Magnus has done in these events previously. In the 42 rounds played in 2019 and